We've made conscious efforts to be uninteresting.
What made the change happen? Why did you suddenly want to get serious about it?
We sort of exhausted all the other things that we had tried to do, and it's almost like a process of elimination in a way, you know?
I don't know. It wasn't so much when we started the band, like taking it seriously, like let's start a career. It was taking it seriously in the way that it was about writing the songs and recording the songs, and that was the serious thing, was to make music exactly how we thought music should be and not being lazy at all, just really, really focusing. And then once we had recorded a lot of songs, then it was like kind of, we can either sit on these and release them on a tiny indie record label and very few people will ever hear them, or we can do all we can to get people to hear them. And that's when we moved to New York and just started playing as many shows as we possibly could.
But what did you base that something was a good song? Like on the stuff you hear, the pop music?
Well, to us, the fundamental elements of a pop song have never changed since their conception, like in the early 1950s, you know. And to us, the sort of the beginnings of the modern, or when, maybe not even the beginnings, but like when it really took shape, what really excited us was those pop songs, those 2.5-minute songs, you know, the Phil Spector sort of sound, the 1950s and 60s. It's, you know, those songs were so immediate and stripped down, and something seemed very vulnerable about them, and even the subject matter was very direct. And, you know, for us, there's so many bands right now that kind of, you know, it's their thing and that's great, whatever they want to do, but it seems like, you know, we're living in Brooklyn, we're sort of surrounded by bands who have like a 4-minute intro and a 10-minute outro to their song, and layer upon layer, and everything's so dense and atmospheric. And for us, we just wanted to go the opposite direction. We wanted to bring things back to sort of the classic idea of just like a band, like 4 guys who like write simple pop songs, you know, in sort of a rock and roll style, like nothing tricky or clever or experimental or hip about it. I think that's why people are saying we're like new and hip, is because if everyone's trying, you know, if it's like, if someone goes and gets a tattoo out of a group of friends, he's the guy with the tattoo. And then if everyone else goes and gets a tattoo, then, you know, the only person, maybe if one person doesn't get a tattoo, they're the ones that stand out, even though they're doing the most boring thing. You know what I mean?
So much of the popular music right now in Brooklyn is indescribable. And I think there was a time when being indescribable was a good thing. But to us now, that's boring, and we want to be describable. We want people to be able to describe what our band sounds like. And
you know, we've made conscious efforts to be uninteresting because everyone's so desperate to be interesting.
You don't have to have a college degree to listen to and understand and enjoy our music.
Yeah. Is it something you also do in your whole image, the not trying to be interesting thing?
Yeah, kind of.
Sure.
In every aspect of the band, whether it's the music or the image or artwork or whatever, we just want it to look classic and familiar and kind of comforting.
Because a lot of people are interested in you now, of course. It's kind of...
people are interested in us?
Yeah.
But I think it goes back to that whole thing, is that, you know, I think people say, oh, you're doing this new thing, but what we feel like what we're doing is a very old idea. It's very tried and true.
If everyone's weird, then no one's weird, and then the most boring person is the weird person, you know?